Hello everyone, welcome back to COS and Educational Services. Today we are diving into a hot topic. Is the 75% attendance rule really mandatory for CBSE students? Let's break it down. According to CBSE guidelines, students need at least 75% attendance to sit for board exams. This applies to classes 10 and 12, especially during the academic year leading up to the exams. That means if you miss too many classes, you risk being barred from the examination hall. So it's crucial to plan accordingly. The primary reason is to ensure that students are engaged and making the most out of their academic experience. Regular attendance helps students grasp concepts better and perform well in exams. Let's examine the compliance rule and standard operating procedures released by CBSE. CBSE has issued a circular stating that a minimum of 75% attendance is mandatory for students to appear in board examinations. A 25% relaxation is provided for attendance, considering emergencies faced by students and their families, as outlined in Exam Bylaws 13 and 14. What are these Exam Bylaws 13 and 14? Let's see that in detail. First, we'll see the Exam Bylaw 13. The term a regular course of study in the bylaw refers to maintaining at least 75% attendance in classes from the start of the academic year up to the month before the examination begins. For subjects with practical components, candidates must also meet the 75% attendance requirement for practical sessions. Heads of institutions cannot permit students who do not fulfill these attendance criteria to take their practical exams. A regular course of study means at least 60% attendance for students participating in national level sports, counted from the start of classes 9, 10, 11, and 12 up to the month before exams. For practical subjects, a minimum of 60% attendance in practical sessions is also required. Students who do not meet these criteria cannot take their practical exams. Next, we'll see the Bylaw 14. If a candidate's attendance is below the required percentage for secondary or senior school certificate examinations, the head of the school may submit their name provisionally to the board. If attendance remains short within 3 weeks of the exam, the head must report to the regional officer. They can recommend special consideration for condonation of attendance shortages, but this must be done no later than 3 weeks before the exams. Key points. Condonation for up to 50% shortage may be granted by the chairman. Attendance below 60% will be considered only for exceptional medical circumstances. Valid reason for recommending condonation include prolonged illness or the loss of a parent. The principal must refer cases with recommendations or valid reasons for non-recommendation. Now back to the SOP circular. All the students and parents may be informed that it is mandatory to have at least 75% minimum attendance as stipulated in the examination bylaws of the board. Any student, if on leave due to a medical emergency, needs to apply for the leave to the school with proper medical prescription and certificate, etc. The schools will ensure that students are attending the schools regularly, and in case any student is not serious about his or her attendance and frequently availing the leave or not attending school, then the school has to inform the parents in writing to ensure attendance as per board's norms. In case students of class 10 and 12 are sent on educational tours or for any other activity, appropriate record should be maintained and or available in such a manner that they could be made available at the time of sudden inspection to the team. Please also find the standard operating procedures to be followed strictly by the schools for condoning the shortage of attendance. The schedule mentioned should also be strictly adhered to. Next, we'll see the standard operating procedure for dealing with students who have less than prescribed percentage of attendance. Inform the importance of attendance and classes etc. to the students and their parents in the beginning of the session. Inform the students and parents to submit a medical certificate from the competent authority or leave application supporting the reason for availing or taking leave as and when leave is availed. Warn the students and parents if they are not attending the classes regularly and maintain the records of such students. Will inform the parents about the shortage of attendance. Schools will recommend the cases as per examination bylaws only. Attendance will be calculated as on 1st January of the academic session. Cases without mandatory documents will be summarizedly rejected. These are all the valid reasons accepted by the board for below 75% attendance. Prolonged illness, loss of parents, any other reason of similar serious nature. Authorized participation in sports at national level organized by CBSE or SGFI. Authorized participation in sports at national or international level organized by recognized federations. The following will be the schedule for sending the request to the CBSE for condonation of attendance. To consider attendance put in by the students in view of Rule 14 of examination by laws up to 1st January of the academic session for class 11, 10 or 12. The last date for approvals by CBSE is 7th February of the examination year. All schools are directed to read, understand and complete with the SOPs in tutu. Schools will ensure that all documents as per requirement are obtained from the students or parents concerned and provided to the concerned regional officer wherever required. This is the pro forma for forwarding shortage of attendance cases by schools, condonation of shortage of attendance in class 10 and 12. Separate pro forma each for class 10 and 12. The following documents duly attested are attached to the following cases. So, is 75% attendance mandatory for CBSE? Yes, it is. But with valid reasons, you can appeal for exceptions. The key takeaway: stay proactive about your attendance and communicate with your school. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe for more educational content. Let us know your thoughts on the attendance rule in the comments below. Thank you.